Hi y'all, this is a video about starting vaping. I started vaping because I wanted to stop smoking. My husband is not a smoker. He does not like the smell of smoke. He doesn't like it in his house, doesn't like it on his clothes. He's not a smoker. He should not smell like a smoker. And for the longest time, I smoked. I have smoked for about 12 years, and that was before I even started seeing my now husband, and he was never a fan. I made the swap because I needed to make the swap, and the answer to that was vaping. I tried to quit with patches, tried to quit with chewing gum, tried to quit cold turkey, I tried everything to quit. I even tried dipping, and that's disgusting, especially for a woman. And I made the swap to vaping. I started out with the blue starter kit. That was okay. It was not bad. It wasn't great. It wasn't the same as smoking. It did not kick my neck fit, but it wasn't bad. It wasn't a bad way to go. But I did try another cig-alike brand, and that was the V2 cig-alikes, and they were okay. That was what I made the swap on, and see, very little vapor. Also, the flavor on this is fine. It's a strong flavor, but when you reach the end of one of these tubes, you'll notice that it starts to taste burnt. It's not good. When it gets burnt, it's not good at all. And it was hard to make the swap to that because it didn't kick my nicotine craving. So after a while, I saw these videos out on YouTube, and I saw these people with these tanks and cartomizers, and I had no idea what that was, but it had to be better than what I was doing. Although what I was doing was making my husband very happy, and it did eventually get me to a point where I was no longer craving cigarettes and actually could not smoke a cigarette because of the smell and the taste. You very much came off of it. I didn't like the smell of cigarettes. I did not smell them when I was a smoker, but after about a couple weeks of vaping and not smoking, I did notice the smell of cigarettes was terrible. I even tried to smoke one of my friend's cigarettes at work, and that was disgusting, and I will never again smoke. So vaping cured me of my smoking. I do not smoke anymore. I do not consider myself a smoker. I know some people say you didn't quit smoking, you only think you did. That's not true. I quit smoking. My house does not smell like a smoker's. My husband can stand right next to me when I am vaping, and he cannot smell anything. And if he does smell something, it's because I have an overly sweet vape in, and it smells great. It smells like food most of the time. And he says it's two things in one. It is a quit smoking tool, and it's an air freshener. The way he says it, he loves it. So, and he's not even a vapor. He does not vape. But he loves the fact that I do vape, so that's a plus there. So any of you guys out there who want to quit smoking and your spouse is not a smoker, they will love the electronic cigarette, or e-cigs, or vaping, whatever you want to call it. I've seen a lot of videos about how to get started. Like I said, I recently became a vapor. I have not been a vapor for long. For a few months I've been a vapor, but will never ever go back to cigarettes. So I started with the cig-alike. I covered that, and then I swapped over to the tank with the Ego battery style. This is not an Ego, this is an off-brand, but it works exactly the same way. The tanks are great. Love the tanks. You can see how close you are to drying out, and like again, dry out is very bad on any of these. When it dries out, it's not good. and you want to avoid that. So I like to keep my tank anywhere from a quarter of the way to all the way full, because if it's lower than a quarter, you can taste the heat in your coil, and sometimes that can make your vape taste bad. These he can smell because they do produce a lot more vapor. Like, I'll show you. See, that's a lot more than the Cigalike, and that's not even like a huge vapor cloud. I know people do huge vapor clouds. I don't do that. It attracts too much attention, so I don't do that, but that's another story. These he can smell. He can smell these. He cannot smell these. These have a lot less nicotine in them, even though they may say they have the same. They do have a lot less nicotine in them than these. You can't really control what you're getting with this, and you can with this. So that's the main difference between the tank and this little Cigalike. So for any of those of you who are, I'm making this video for you who are trying to step into vaping and don't know what you're doing. This is what I found out and what I wish somebody had told me when I first started. Thanks.